The third game in my Semi-Alphabetical Backlog for the PlayStation 2 is Airborne Troops Countdown to D-Day, a third-person shooter set in World War II. When I started this game, I remembered that I never played too far into it, but I forgot why. Besides the bad voice acting, I thought it was just going to play just like a regular World War II game. What I played was a budget game with 7 missions, and if I knew what I was doing, I could have finished the game in less than 2 hours. It starts off as a linear get-to-the-end-of-the-level shooter, but then opens up to levels that require players to backtrack and constantly fight against non-stop respawning Nazis. In games like this, I like to normally hold myself back and pick the enemies off and then move forward, but because the game spawns Nazis wherever it wants, sometimes they automatically spawn behind me the second I moved up. After getting ambushed by spawning Nazis over and over in the later levels, I just started to run through sections so that even if they did start shooting at me, I had a chance they would miss. The plus side is that dying isn't much of a pain as it could have been, because levels have several loading zone doors, and when a player passes through them, that's where they will restart if they choose to continue. I know I would have rage quit if they sent me back to the beginning of some missions. This game is partly a stealth game, or at least it has some stealth elements, but I hardly use them. I couldn't force myself to slowly sneak walk my way through these levels. If I had, the hours to beat the game would have increased significantly. When attacking enemies, I mostly stuck to rifles for accuracy and stopping power, but toward the end of the game I started relying on machine guns, just as long as I had enough bullets. It seems that the American guns did more damage and shot faster, but the balance to that was having low chances to pick up ammo for them. There are a total of 7 weapons, with a weapon wheel that should have 8, unless I missed something. A handgun with infinite bullets, a M1 Garand, a Mauser, Thompson SMG, MP40, a Panzerschreck, and a knife. One thing to not count on is the Panzerschreck, as it's only useful for tanks, and that's about it. I shot a rocket at a boss and it only took off a small amount of damage, which is truly annoying. And at least on the last level, it shoots right through the ground. Bullet sponge bosses that don't offer much of a challenge other than having to make sure they die before the player dies makes me wish I played this game on easy instead of normal, just so the bosses would die quicker. Then I would have just had to worry about figuring out where to go and what I had to do instead of dying on repeat due to cheap enemy spawns. I swear, if I knew where I had to go, I would have finished this game sooner than the 2 hours and 23 minutes that I did. So on the story side, there isn't much. Mostly it's one guy telling what happened in cutscenes or slideshow pics. No other character has a voice. It makes me wonder if they paid this guy to just play the main character, or did he also do the enemy voices? The guy is so monotone and the script is so stiff and cheaply written that it's almost mind-numbing.
My name is John Welsh, and this is my story. That night, my mission was simple. Escort a secret agent over the occupied part of France and make sure he parachuted in the right landing zone. But in time of war, the easier it seems, the more risky it is.
Audio-wise, the music seems to have some issues. The music keeps turning on and off based on the triggers of killing enemies and new enemies coming on screen. So when one wave dies, silence. Then a second later, more enemies come to attack, and the music starts up again. It sort of gets annoying. Another thing that got annoying was the mini cutscenes showing NPC characters moving, as it suddenly cuts away from gameplay to where they moved. I get that it's supposed to help at times show where the player should be going, but too many times it gets disorienting. Airborne Troops Countdown to D-Day is a ridiculously short and boring third-person budget title for the PS2. The fact that this is for the PlayStation 2 and I have the ability to beat this game in less than 2 hours, and I wasn't having fun, really sucks. Also, the last level is extremely short, which I guess is a relief in one way. I really feel bad that my friend at one point paid somewhere around $13.49 to $14.99 for this. This game is most definitely getting taken off the shelf, and hopefully someone else will have fun with it. Thanks for watching. Any comments, likes, or dislikes on this video or any of my other videos would be appreciated. By clicking these annotations, you can check out some of my other reviews. Also, if you want to get in contact with me, message me on YouTube or Twitter.